Hello, Guild Wars 2 gamers. Muckley Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire the fourth here, and I am guesting on the Guild Wars 2 channel where I do not have any control over the audio that is outside of my hands. I am filling in for Roy because he is on thin ice. He knows what he did, and looking at his notes, we are today going to be covering fashion templates. We are going to be taking Q&A throughout the course of this stream. We're going to be demoing this for you guys. We are currently on the server, the stage server, which is basically already on the next patch. I know many things, and I am not allowed to tell you any of them. I was told I was not allowed to play best race for this presentation because I needed to be tall to show you guys fashion. So we are currently playing most popular race gender combination, and we are tall human females here. I am joined by the very talented Steph Wu. Steph, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Steph. Steph Wu, if you will. I am a senior product manager on Guild Wars 2, and I was one of the folks who worked on fashion templates as a feature. Really excited to be here, kind of on stream for ArenaNet for the first time, so hi everyone. And also hoping that my audio is not too low as well, and also please do not blame Muck for his audio. I'm the one capturing it, and it was my fault, so I'm going to defend him against everyone in chat. All on me.
Now they are saying that you are a little low if you want to turn yourself up a tiny bit.
Okay, I can do that on my side. I think, let's see. Let's go for audio input. I'm a little bit low. How's this sounding now? Testing.
Yell at us in the chat if you want to give feedback.
We did technically do like a sound check, and then we changed how we were setting up the entire stream and didn't have a chance to do another sound check. My computer also crashed 20 minutes ago, so I apologize in advance if it crashes again. This is going to be a really fun time. But yeah, here to talk about fashion templates and everything about them. We've got a build set up here that has everything on it, as well as our wonderful guest, Fashionable Muckluck, here running around, showing off a nice outfit that he's got set up there. And we're going to go through pretty much kind of the A to Z of fashion templates, everything about some of the new changes you'll see to the wardrobe system, how fashion templates work, how they interact with a bunch of other systems, how you can set them up, a bunch of advanced options, you know, kind of everything you want to know. And we'll also, you know, anything that Muckluck wants to know as well, kind of here to guide us along in that journey, ask some questions, you know, ask for some clarifications, all that fun stuff. So really excited. I did see wizard's hats seem to be mandatory for fashion templates, actually, now that I think about it. I've seen a lot of wizard hats.
It always matches.
Yeah, it matches everything, and it's perfect. So, is there anything else we want to go over before we kind of jump into some of the specifics around the feature?
I mean, let's just give the people what they want. Let's just dive into it. So if we open our hero panel, because everyone is looking through your eyes right now, why don't you show them the very obvious difference where the wardrobe has been moved to?
Yeah, so I opened it up and we were already on the tab, so spoilers there. But you'll see if we go up to this equipment tab that we all know and love, now there is an option here that is suspiciously absent, which is the wardrobe. And the wardrobe has been moved to a brand new tab here on fashion. This has a nice wardrobe icon, but it is called fashion. And wardrobe's in here now, along with tools. This is actually where your gathering tools live, and we'll get to that later. So wardrobe's in here now, kind of separated out just so that we can, you know, keep it separate from where you're changing up all of your equipment and your stats and all of that. And when you go into wardrobe now, you'll see some new tabs at the top that look very similar to equipment templates, but they are different. These are fashion templates, and they are a completely separate system that's now been integrated into the wardrobe. So, some fun things about what you can do with your fashion templates is you can set entire, here I'll actually get rid of the, I'll make sure that you can see my character. You can set entire cosmetic loadouts that are just cosmetics and change them on the fly and change them up without having to change what your character is wearing. So you'll see here that I have this fashion template currently equipped on my character. Look how pretty it is. And also, just as a note before I go into all these fashions, shout out to the Guild Wars 2 development team. I asked them all for fashion loadouts, which they sent to me, and I imported into this for this stream. So all of these outfits were created by various GW2 developers. So thanks so much, everyone. So you'll see that I have this fashion template up, and there are two big things about this interface that are different from what you might be used to. Thank you for dancing. I really appreciate the energy in the background here. Number one is that outfits are included now within this same panel, so we no longer have an entirely separate interface for outfits. They've been incorporated into the wardrobe, so you can go and change your outfits, edit them, change their visibility, which is basically the same as just turning them on and off previously for outfits as they were before. So you can change their visibility right in your template, and so you can set up a template that includes some of the other things like weapons and back items that you can wear with outfits all at the same time now, and that also includes dyes.
Now, just to confirm, outfits did not take any transmutation charges before. Is that still true?
Yes, it is absolutely true. Anytime you add an outfit or change outfit visibility on your fashion template, completely free of charge, 0 transmutation charges. So, going off of the second thing that I just said there, is that dyes. Dyes here are now here. They're not in their own tab anymore. We still do have a separate tab for dyes within equipment, kind of as a legacy thing, because we still need them to dye things like mounts and gliders that aren't included in fashion templates. However, if you go over to dyes here, now you can change the dyes of all of your armor in the same place as you are changing all of the skins. It's super convenient, and I personally have been having a great time not having to run back and forth by constantly changing all of my dyes. So that's been a really nice addition already.
So just to reiterate that to everybody, while in this same screen, if you click on any of the dyes, it becomes what you recognize as the dye screen. And then if you click on any piece of armor, it goes back to being like the wardrobe thing. They're just combined in the same tab.
Yeah, and as it was before, or as it currently is on live and will be until Tuesday, applying dyes and changing dyes doesn't cost any transmutation charges either. So this is still a thing where you can always change up your dyes and it will always be completely free. Speaking of transmutation charges, though, there's sort of the question of where do those come into play? So this is a little bit hard to explain before you get your hands on it yourself, but I'll do my best to demonstrate it here. Saving any item to a fashion template does cost transmutation charges, but applying it to your armor does not. So for example here, if I'm messing around with this one and I actually want to change up what my headgear is here, let's say, actually, we know we were talking about this before the stream started, so let's change to our lovely favorite, the paper bag head. I want to really spruce up my fashion here. Wow, look at that, how beautiful. Applying this to this fashion template is going to cost me a transmutation charge, so I'll save that, and now this is my new template I have here. You'll notice that it actually hasn't applied to my character yet, because in order to put it on my character, I do need to hit apply. That is because save and apply are two different things now, so that you can modify your fashion templates without having to change what your character is currently wearing. So for example, if I wanted to mess around with my, look for an upcoming event or holiday, or, like for certain guild representation, things like that, I can always do it without having to actually change what I'm wearing right now. So now that I've made this fashion template though, and I want to put it on my character, I'll hit apply. And now I have my paper bag head. Wahoo!
So got a question from chat on what you were just talking about, and I know the answer, but we're gonna go over it. Is, with this new thing, does it still take a charge if you had legendary armor?
Oh, it does not. Absolutely not. So we wanted to make sure that you still get the perk of free cosmetic changes if you have a legendary. So actually on this character, I do have one legendary. I have an obsidian chest piece. So if I change up this one, let's just go to here, you'll notice that this says 0 transmutation charges. So this, to save to any template, is free forever. And this works for every single piece that you have, but it is separated by weight. So you do need a separate light, medium, heavy piece of legendary armor in order to benefit from free transmutations as you do currently on the live game. But for weapons, you actually can use it for all of that weapon type, even if you have multiple equipped. So for example, if you have a legendary dagger and you're going for a main-handed and offhand dagger build, both of those are going to be completely free to set to your template at all times because you have unlocked one legendary dagger.
Now, one thing, because we had a bit of a I don't want to say mob, but I kind of want to say mob on Reddit yesterday. There was lots of people and also Redditors that were panicking a bit. And one thing that I want to kind of try to throw water on the fire right now, because I see some of that in chat at the moment, is everything you could do before, you can still do now, and it still costs the same amount of transmutation charges as it did before, and there's more features. But the buttons to do some of the things that you could do before may be different. So, for example, if you wanted to, could you just change one of your weapon skins?
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you wanted to just change one of your weapon skins and make it look different, you would go into this screen, change a weapon skin, and apply it to your gear, and that's it. If you briefly added the skin to your fashion template, it costs a shard, just like before it would have cost a shard, and then you apply it to your gear, and then that's that. So the cost is the same as before. Another question in chat is we've got somebody here who says that they've got 6 different equipment builds that all look different right now. When this patch hits, is something going to happen to those?
Oh, absolutely not. So I actually have a bunch of equipment templates already set up too. So this character has 4 equipment templates here that are all for kind of slightly different builds that I care about here. So I've been doing all of this work actually in equipment template 1, but I had some other fashion previously saved in my other equipment templates. So my alternate DPS setup here is actually not getting affected by my fashion templates at all. I already had this. You'll notice this is actually kind of just an alt coloring of the equipment I was just wearing, you know, now minus the face. But yeah, this is a completely different setup. I also even have some stuff set up in here that I don't even have in my fashion templates. I applied it to this equipment template and then went and messed around with my fashion templates. I think this is the most visibly different one from everything else that I have set up in fashion templates. So I have this in equipment template 4, for example, and I could go into my fashion templates and start messing around. Actually, I can show that off right now. So right now, so I have this on my equipment. You'll see this very like kind of Doom-themed situation going on here. And because the fashion templates are separate, you'll see I kind of look different from all my templates. This is because I can edit all of these templates without having to apply them to my equipment. And you'll notice that none of these are actually this setup here. These are all, you know, things that I've set up completely independently. But if I do want to change out this setup and put this in a fashion template so I can save it or change up some stuff, there are a couple of options that I have. So number one is, let's say I've got this setup and I actually like this setup. I don't have it in a fashion template, but I do want to change up the staff. There's kind of a sneaky thing that we've included here where if I go into this fashion template, I've already saved this corrupted branch here as the staff. I can actually just apply this slot directly here and it will change just my staff. And that costs 0 transmutation charges, by the way. Not just because I have a legendary staff, but because I'd already saved it to a template. So I can do that with every template, right? So I have never more saved on this one. Again, legendary, unfortunately, all these examples are with a legendary, but it does apply if you know you're not using a legendary thing. But if I want to use Nevermore here, I can just apply that slot too. And I don't have to change anything else about it. Or let's say like I do want to change to these horns up here.
And that what you're showing now perfectly answers another question in chat. Someone was saying, let's say I've got an empty fashion template, I've got my equipment set up, and I want to just change the staff. They were asking, do I have to put in my entire outfit into the template in order to change that staff? And from what you just showed, it looks like you could have an empty fashion template, just put the one item you want to modify in there, and right-click it and hit apply, and that's it.
Yep. And also anything that's in the fashion template that isn't filled out, it'll skip that slot when applying the template. So for example, this is actually, man, I wish I had my live character set up on here because I have a really good use case for this. But my live character, I have a pair of sunglasses on an Asura that I just really like putting on occasionally just to look cool. And I will definitely be setting up a fashion template that is just the sunglasses, but nothing else, so that I can just take all of my other looks and just decide to add sunglasses by themselves. So in theory, and I can actually just clear a template entirely to show this off. So we'll get a little bit more into some of the advanced options in a little bit, but you can completely clear a fashion template. It's free to clear it. So I'll actually save that. And this is now showing, you know, what I'm currently wearing since there's nothing in this fashion template. If I were to apply this, actually, it applies nothing. Oh, it had outfit visibility on. That's a little trick of the system. But if you just apply it, it's going to do nothing, right? Because there's nothing set up in here. So if I wanted to change just my headgear around, just, you know, for funsies, I have this conjurer mask, and I'll, you know, dye it some dark colors to make it a little bit more obvious that I have a mask on. I'll save it to the template. Again, that's 1 transmutation charge, but then I can apply this, and you can see on my character it just changes the mask because everything else is blank. So if you're the type of person who wants to use your equipment templates to store, you know, kind of more individual loadouts of equipment, or you have all legendaries, and that's the thing that's really easy for you to do, if you want to set that up and then just use your 2 fashion templates to kind of change individual items, you absolutely can. Now, I will validate that this does take a little bit more finagling and a few more clicks than it did before, if that's kind of a way that you want to use that system. But once you get used to it, you can do all of the things functionally that you could before. It's just done a little bit differently. And that's something, of course, that like once everybody gets used to the system and we kind of see how all of you decide to use it and how you decide to kind of go between your fashion templates and your equipment templates and start using them in more creative ways that maybe even we haven't thought of yet. That's the kind of feedback that we love to hear, is how are you using them and what are the things that we could improve in the future to make that easier for you?
So I think this would be a good time to bring up, if you would right click on your weapon swap and show them the new column.
Oh yeah, down here?
Right click on your weapon swap to the left of your 1 attack. There we go.
Yep.
So before chat, we had equipment and build templates, and now there's also fashion. So if you want to, again, this is a new feature, you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it. You can set up outfits in the fashion template thing, and you could just right click on the weapon swap, left click on the fashion, and that's it, change it. You could also hotkey those to make it to where with just a single button press, you could change entire outfits. So that is another option available to you. So like you could right click and then just click, click, click. You could change your entire set of gear, your entire build, and your entire fashion if you want to. Or you could just use the same fashion for everything if you've already won Fashion Wars, you know, whatever you like.
Yeah, and you can combine, of course, the hotkeys for equipment templates are also still there and also still the same. So it's kind of a combination of the two that you can use. Notably, every time that a fashion template is applied, and again, this is one of those things that is difficult for me to explain with words, but once you get your hands on this, you'll definitely see it a lot more, is that items themselves are still transmuted the same way that they were before. The fashion template system is just kind of transmuting them in bulk and also making it free to transmute them rather than making it cost. So it costs to save, free to transmute rather than it costing to transmute, right? So when you apply a fashion template with the quick button, it pretty much just automatically transmutes everything you're wearing all at once. And that's kind of how the system is working. So if you were to unequip these items and put them in your inventory or put them into an equipment template later, they will keep the appearance of the last fashion template you applied to them because it just sort of bulk transmuted them. It's a layer on top of the existing transmutation system. And I apologize if that entire little spiel there made absolutely no sense, but it's the best way that I have to explain what's going on under the hood here.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So just a quick recap before we go on to the next topic. If what you care about is the ability to change a single item, like you're like, okay, I look good. Wait, I need to use a staff for this fight. Oh God, this looks awful. If you want to just change one item, you will just go to the wardrobe, go to your weapon, go to whatever you want to change it to, right click, apply. I believe that is one more mouse click than what it was before for changing a single item to look like a different single item. But then on top of that, you're also getting this whole other system on top of it that you can use. With the fashion templates, the ability to quick swap, the ability to export outfits, which we're going to touch on in a minute, import outfits from other people, save like, you know, thousands of outfits in Notepad if you fancy it, stuff like that. On that note, if you're okay with it, why don't we talk about exporting? Like,
yeah,
if
absolutely.
you wanted to share your outfit with me and just make me look like a clone of you, how would we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super easy. So if you go to any fashion template, and I've moved it over so you can see Mukluk a little bit better. If you right-click the template itself, and you can even see that when you hover the template, you get a little preview of everything that's in it. It's pretty similar to the inspect menu when you inspect cosmetics on another player, where you can kind of see a little loadout of everything. I can actually copy this wardrobe template, and I'll do some map chat just in case. And I can paste it into chat. That was in combat. There we go. And hypothetically, if this is working correctly, Mukluk should be able to take that link and import it into his own fashion template with the paste wardrobe template option. Because if you click on this, it'll open up a window that looks like, again, looks very similar to Cosmetic Inspect, and there's a copy button. And you can copy the wardrobe template and paste it into any wardrobe template or any fashion template slot that you have. There we go. The dyes are a little different, but but it is the same as
So what she did is she sent me a thing, And just to show it the other way around so they can see both sides,
Yeah.
I'm going to take mine that had the wizard hat, and I'm going to paste it into the chat. And if you can show them how to load that on your side so they can see the other side of this.
Yeah, so I have opened that one up that Muckluck just popped in chat. I've hit the copy button. Now, you'll notice that there is an exclamation point here, that there's something that I should be aware of. And this is what happens if you try and copy a template that contains items that you don't own or that your character can't use. So actually, this character, funny enough, does not have Weapon Master training on it for some fun reasons. So the possibility here is that Muckluck is actually using a weapon that I can't equip, which is probably that greatsword. However, that's not going to stop me. I still really want this look. So I'm going to paste this wardrobe template in right here. And you'll see that something didn't copy over. It was the offhand. It was the secondary offhand here because it was something that I couldn't use, but that's okay. I'll still save everything that I can anyway. So again, saving templates costs transmutation charges. So this is going to cost me charges, except for on the stuff where I have legendaries. So it's not going to cost me for that chest. And then I can save it and I will have it. So again, it's going to give me these warnings here for when this doesn't match the item I have equipped. When it comes to weapons specifically, I have a staff equipped, but this has a greatsword saved into it. What you can do in fashion templates, there is a bit of a limitation with what you can equip, where when you originally set your template, and I'll actually go to a different template to show this off, you can only set skins for weapons that you currently have equipped. So I currently have a staff equipped, so I can set a staff skin, and then in my offhand, I think I have Scepter... is it Scepter Dagger? Yeah. So I can only set Scepter Dagger as my offhand because that's what I have equipped, but that does not stop me from importing something from someone with a different set of weapons. And if I want to put in a different weapon than what I have equipped right now, I just have to equip the type of weapon I want to set, and I can set it. Once it's set, that weapon will stay there regardless of what you have equipped, so you can keep your fashion template in a state where it will always transmute a staff, and it will skip the staff or skip the weapon if you're not holding a staff. However, when you're first setting it, you do have to be holding the weapon. And this is mostly just because there are so many skins in the game that attempting to show every single possible skin for every single possible weapon that could be in that slot would have been kind of unwieldy. So this is a bit of a limitation we had to put on the system to get it to work. And again, like, this is one of those things where once all of you get your hands on it and you're kind of used to the system, we'd love feedback on some of the ways that we can improve the system or improve some of the usability of it.
Now, just a moment ago, you and I both copied a code from each other to, save each other's fashion. Why don't we talk about how you could save that code, like if you made a Christmas-themed outfit and you wanted to use it again next Christmas, but you don't want it taking up a fashion template slot for the entire year. How could you show the audience how you could save that code outside of the game for future use?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can actually, when you copy your wardrobe template, it gives you just a string that you can paste anywhere. So you actually kind of see the string. I'll post it back into chat before it converts it into a wardrobe template. It's sort of this long sort of nonsense string, but that is storing data that is relevant for the game. That is a thing that you can export and put in a text file. And then you can either save that just to your own local, local computer if you want to grab it later and import it for the next relevant holiday or whenever you want to wear it, or it's something that even outside of the game you can share with other people. So if you want to share your fashion out with your friends or with your guildmates or anyone else that might want it or is curious about how you put something together, that's a way to do it. And funny enough, when I mentioned earlier that all of the stuff I had equipped when I first started this stream was made by ArenaNet employees, that's how they sent it to me. Actually, they all made these outfits in this build and then sent me the code, and I just imported it. I didn't have to make any of it myself, and that included dyes, which was really nice for me.
So from what it sounds like, even if you only had, now everyone starts with 2, but even if you only had one fashion template, you could still save hundreds of outfits you set up just by using a notepad.
Yes, you can. The one thing that you'd have to note is that every time you kind of come in to go and apply it to a new, so let's say you're trying to do this, and Muckluck mentioned, and I forgot to say this before, is that every player starts with 2 fashion templates. So if you are even just a brand new player and you want to switch between 2 fashions, you have no extra equipment templates, nothing, you're just still leveling, this is still something you can do. As long as you have the transmutation charges, you can set 2 fashion templates and swap easily between them at any time you want while you are, still leveling up to 80 or still leveling up on a brand new character or account. This character in particular, this account has 4 unlocked. These tabs are unlocked account-wide. However, characters do not share the actual contents of the fashion template. So even though I have 3 and 4 set on this character, if I were to go to a different character, these 2 would actually still start blank. So you don't have to worry about, accidentally overwriting your other character's fashion between them. These are all individual per character, but the slot is unlocked per account. But yeah, you could absolutely, if you wanted to run this entire thing with 9 equipment templates and 2 fashion templates, you can. You can save them there, import them here. You would still have to spend the transmutation charges as kind of you would before to set everything to an equipment template, to save it to the fashion template. But then you could go in and, take that particular fashion and then add it to whichever equipment template you like. So I could even go to one of my different equipment templates here that I already had set. This is one, again, that I don't have a fashion template for because I had set it before and then changed it around. But you can go in there, apply it, and then go and change your fashion templates again, and it won't change anything in your equipment templates.
Now, you mentioned while leveling, and I think it's important to remind people that have been max level for a long time. I believe it was around like level 6 or 7 is when you unlock the ability to use transmutation charges.
Yes.
So does this unlock at that time for new characters?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So when you reach level 6, that's when you'll unlock this entire system. Right now on the game that's currently live, for those of you who haven't leveled a character in a while, the wardrobe does fully unlock at level 6. And a helpful feature that does mess up the equipment template setup, but I'm going to show it here. This is also a word of caution to those of you who are going to be using, putting different skins on all of your equipment templates. We do have this button here that says apply on equipment change. This is here for those of you who are fashion purists, if you will, kind of like I am, honestly, on live. I have one outfit. I just want that one look. Like, I don't want to change any of this. I spent a lot of time importing this from my friend and changing the dyes. Like, I don't want to mess with that. So if I have apply on equipment change checked off, then what will happen is anytime I change my equipment, it will automatically transmute it to this look. So I have this checked, okay? I'm gonna like really, really highlight that here. I'm gonna go over to my equipment templates, and something horrifying is going to happen, or something great, is that I'm gonna change my equipment template. Oh, this has different dyes. These are different equipment. Okay. This is a weird case, and it's not going to do it to my equipment templates, but what will usually happen here is if I were to change out any of my like actual equipment, like if you're leveling and you get like a new piece of equipment or armor and you put it on, this will automatically transmute it to the thing that you have. I have a weird setup on this character, so some stuff is a little funky, but that is what that button is there to do. So if you don't want that to happen, just keep that unchecked and you won't have to worry about it. But if that is a behavior that you want, we have included it so that you just don't have to touch any of this or hit that apply to equipment button a bunch of times while you are changing out all of your equipment.
So just as a quick recap, if I may, I recently did a character that I leveled 1 to 80 for a challenge that I did, and he was starved for transmutation charges. I only found a few. And so sometimes I'd be like, oh man, this hat's an upgrade, and I'll use my only charge on it, making it look like something I thought looked decent. And then later I get a new hat, and then I had to choose between look decent or have good stats, the forever conundrum of an MMO player. So you're saying that if, let's say you're a new character around level 30, you punch in a fashion that you're happy with, and then 35 you get new gloves, 40 you get a new hat, 45 you get new pants, you still look the same as long as you have this turned on.
Yes, 100%. And you would only have to spend 1 transmutation charge per slot to put that thing that you like there, and then it will just automatically apply it for free the entire time you're leveling.
All right, cool. Let's see. Looking at the chat right now, would you have the ability to mix and match different sections of outfits? I do not. No. This patch does not have the ability to rip apart outfits into their component pieces. Don't get me wrong, Steph. I would love that as well, but this is not adding that functionality. This has the same functionality that the wardrobe had before. Plus, it has the ability to save and load outfits. That is the purpose of this this update.
Yep. Yeah, that's very well said. Yeah, unfortunately, no updates to how outfits function, other than that they've been moved into this tab to make it easier to manage them alongside the rest of your looks.
Another question from chat. So someone's saying, can I swap outfits in combat? Which brings to mind a great idea. If I really hate the group I'm running with, can I set one outfit to look like a blue sun and another to look like a red sun and just rapidly swap between them to give everybody epilepsy? Is that an option?
No, you cannot. So similar to, I believe equipment templates function this way as well. If you're in mid-combat, you cannot change fashion templates in the middle of combat.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, it's mostly just to avoid some strange bugs and edge cases that might happen if you were to do it. So that kind of has the same restrictions as changing your equipment.
All right. Let's see. Flipping through Roy's notes here. Let's see, do it in between wipes.
I love how it's Roy's notes, and I don't even know. I would love to ask Roy, have you even played with this feature?
I'm looking at this paper. He clearly had no idea what he was talking about. I'm winging this. Okay. Let's touch on the elephant in the Reddit. If I have 9 equipment templates and I have, let's really, make this an extreme. If I have 9 equipment templates and I have 1 fashion template, can I decorate all of them to look differently?
Yes. Also, you will never only have 1 fashion template. As a note, you will always
Obviously.
have 2. However, if in theory, for some reason, you manage to get rid of a fashion template, you only had 1, yeah, you can save completely different looks to every single one of your equipment templates. And also, when you load in on Tuesday for the patch, your equipment templates are not going to be touched at all. They will be the same as you left them when you left, as well as the things that you have equipped. We have not touched the equipment tab in any way. That is all the same. It is just the wardrobe that is different. And actually, speaking of when you log on for the first time on Tuesday, we'll have 2 things for you when you come on in. So the first thing is you'll be presented with a pop-up every time a character interacts with the wardrobe for the very first time. And that includes all of your characters on Tuesday. They'll be presented with the option to import their currently equipped fashion into template number 1 completely for free, 0 transmutation charges, and save it to that template. This is just because we know that you've spent transmutation charges, putting together this look already. We're not going to double charge you for that. So that's going to be an option for you. 1 time per character on login on Tuesday, you'll be able to have that option. The second thing we're giving everyone on Tuesday is 20 transmutation charges, because we know that you also would probably want to populate that second tab with something that you have, whether it's an existing equipment template or, just some fashion that you've had in mind or commonly used that you switch between and know about. So you'll have these charges for free for those of you who, are a little bit strapped for charges, to make sure that you have enough to set that second template as well. So those will be there for you on Tuesday, and your equipment templates will be untouched.
Now, just to clarify, is that 20 charges per character or per account?
It is per account. Yeah, so this will be probably, yeah, so this is mostly to help you kind of get set up on your main, but for additional characters, they will not get those additional 20 charges.
Okay. Let's touch on the multiple character functionality. So if I were to buy a new fashion template, which taking me from 2 to 3, and then I, put something in that template, I guess now's a good time to remind everyone, if you buy a fashion template, you get an additional one on every character you have. It is not per character the way that previous templates have been. So if you buy a 3rd fashion template, every single one of your characters gets a 3rd fashion template for you to mess around with. If I set up my current outfit as template 3 on this character, and then I swap over to a warrior for some ungodly reason, will its template 3 have this outfit already in it?
No, it will not. Every single character has their own templates. And so, that's mainly because if, we were to restrict you to just 9 between all of your characters, everyone's characters have completely different looks, different armor weights, different everything, different weapons. So making sure that every character, even though the template slots are account wide, similar to equipment templates and build templates and things, the templates themselves are per character. So you can set them all for each one of your characters.
but I could still copy outfits between them just by like copying the code into a notepad, going to another character and pasting it in.
100%, yeah. So if you do have fashion that you want to share between characters, yeah, you can do that by using the copy and paste function.
Noted. Oh wait, I'm Roy today. Awesome. There we go. Let's see. Looking at the chat here. So someone said, so you imported a copied fashion. It does not include the dyes, question mark?
It should include the dyes. On your side, did you get the dyes?
When I loaded your fashion, this is what I turned into. Is this what you sent me?
I sent you one with red dyes, so it should include the dyes.
Let me see. Was there two things I needed to copy? Hold on. So I've got the panel thing open, and I see the dyes in it. And when I hit copy wardrobe template, and I go into my wardrobe here, just paste it there. It currently does not, so we might have a bug report. So it sounds like the aim is for it to copy the dyes also.
Yes. Yeah, so you can kind of see on my screen, I did just grab my own template and paste it into this section, and it did copy the dyes, so that is a bug we'll have to look into. It also might just have something to do with this build that we're on sometimes does some things that don't actually happen on the real game when it comes to the like armor setup that you have. So we will look into that, and I'm sorry to everyone for showing off incorrect functionality on the stream. But
it's an early build. So the important part here is the goal is that by Tuesday it will copy the dyes also.
Yes, 100%.
There we go.
Or
there you go, chat. So that's it. So there might be a hitch today, but the plan is before you get it live, you can copy the dyes also. Does Muck own the dyes? Probably. Oh. They gave me a account that has. You know what? I actually think I don't. Because the account that you guys gave me for this does have like full legendary and every infusion under the sun, but it has like no dyes unlocked. So I think that's the reason.
That's the troubleshooting. Yep, that's exactly it. So if you try to import a wardrobe template that has, much like how if it has a skin that you don't have, it'll skip that. It will go to default dyes if you don't have the correct dyes, and that's probably what happened. Great troubleshooting. Thank you, chat.
Fantastic. I did use to work tech support. It sucked. I don't want to go back. All right. So we mentioned infusions there. Segue. Are infusions, because sometimes infusions have stats, and sometimes infusions have appearances, and sometimes they have both. Mm-hmm. How will this affect those?
It will not. So infusions are not included in fashion templates, as you mentioned, because infusions themselves are equipment. They have stats included. They are attached to equipment. I keep forgetting I put this paper bag on my head. So because they're attached to equipment, while they do function with cosmetics in the same way that they did previously, they are not included in the fashion templates themselves, unfortunately. So for those, you'll still be attaching those directly to your equipment. And then if you are a person who is using equipment templates and changing between those, that will still be how you change up which infusions are showing. This is actually also the same for any legendary that has particular effects associated with it. Those are also still attached to the piece of equipment itself, and so you'll have to equip that or unequip it in order to get those effects.
Okay, awesome. So I'm reading and talking at the same time, which is a terrible thing to do. The next question is, if I have armor and then I apply a fashion template to it, so that armor's appearance has changed, and I then take off that armor and put it in my inventory, and I later re-equip it, will it be looking like default, or will it look like the last fashion that was stamped upon it?
It will look like the last fashion that was stamped upon it. Asterisk, so long as you do not have apply on equipment change checked off. So the piece will have whatever was last applied to it. So for example, the fashion template itself, I can actually show this because I don't have all legendaries on this. So the paper bag is a really good example. So I had put on a fashion template on this helm that was the paper bag. This will stay as the paper bag even when I put it back in my inventory and kind of move it back. But if I were to have apply an equipment change on, it would automatically transmute to whatever my fashion template is, or my last equipped fashion template is, when I put that back on. So, but the short answer to that, though, is yes, it will keep the appearance. It will not revert back to its default appearance.
Okay, good to know. Carl says that we look cute. Thank you, Carl. You as well.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's see. Going through, see if there's anything new here. Let's talk about, I mean, this is a brief thing, but it's a note here we got. Thank you, Roy. If you were to right-click on your weapon swap button again, to the left of your 1 key, how quickly can you rapidly swap between fashions? If you were to just right-click on weapon swap, pull up that little menu, and then swap between a few of them.
Medium fast, but not really, really fast. I also have hotkeys for this that I can try and like mash as fast as possible. We do have a slight cooldown. Again, this is similar to how equipment templates have a cooldown. So it's like a, half second, not even cooldown between them. This is about as fast. I'm like mashing.
I mean, for all purposes, that seems fine to me. It takes like a second.
Yeah,
and it's
but
changing everything.
It is very fast. So you can swap very quickly. So if you're trying to swap your outfits in the 2 seconds you have between pieces of when combat starts, it does give you enough time to do that.
All right. Someone in chat asked, and I would like you to show this on the screen. Could you click on me and right-click on me and do Inspect Cosmetics? From that screen, are you able to, quote-unquote, steal my look?
No. I cannot copy your fashion template or fashion templatize your cosmetic inspect panel. The only way I can directly import it in is if you give it to me. So all the control is in the player who made the fashion's hands. Of course, as you can right now, I could hover all of these individually and very carefully write them down myself and figure it out. But yeah, you cannot quickly just yoink someone's fashion off of them. You will have to politely ask them to send you the link.
No yoinking. Got it.
No yoinking. Official statement.
Official statement from ArenaNet. No yoinking.
No yoinking.
Okay, so this all sounds great. So it's a little different, but we've got all the same functionality we had before. We're getting charged the same amount of transmutation charges or less, depending on what we're doing. And we also have these new features with the fashion templates. That's all well and good, but what if during Christmas I also decorate my mount? I give it a red and green paint job. Can I use this feature on mounts? So,
right now, you can't. But, theoretically, by next Winter's Day, I believe the answer is probably yes. So we've mentioned this in the blog as well. So this is like a public information, is that this system, we know that it is a massive change to how the wardrobe works. And we know that there is a ton of stuff that is changing, even though there's a lot of functionality that's still there. There's a lot of different button clicks. There's a lot of new context menus. There's a lot of different depth to the system. And so this is a system that we are committed to continuing to work on and iterate on to make as great for all of you as it can be. We really want to serve everything that you all want to do with the cosmetic systems in this game. And that includes adding things that we know kind of go with your entire character's vibe to these templates. And so later on this year, we are already working on it. A lot of it is actually like very much deep in progress already. We will be adding what we call the travel templates quotations extension to this system, where you will be able to add mounts, gliders, conjured doors, and skiffs to your templates. It's kind of bundled that way because it's everything that gets you from point A to point B, which we realize like also includes conjured doors. Technically, they do transport you from one place to another, so we felt it would be fun to include them. So all of that travel stuff in the future is going to actually be added to a new sub-tab under the fashion menu called Travel, and you'll be able to attach it to the existing fashion templates that you have and assign different mounts with different dyes, different gliders to match your backpacks, all of that fun stuff. That'll all be included in a future update.
So coming soon with a little TM after it.
Soon TM.
There we go. All right. By the way, while I have your ear, if you are in touch with the people who make the homestead doors, I would like one that looks like a fancy mansion door with like a butler standing next to it. It's like Alfred. He's like, "Welcome home, sir," and he opens the door. I would buy it.
I feel like it would be, there's I'm super into it, and I do wonder like what do we make that butler look like? I feel like that's going to be the most controversial thing. Like, what outfit are they wearing specifically? Like how are they standing? I don't know. But feedback heard, and we will get it to the right people.
Fantastic. All right. Let's see. There was. Oh my gosh.
One thing
I'm
I
loving all
did
the
forget to
questions
show
coming
off
in.
very quickly is that
Yeah.
the other sub-tab in here is that we did put gathering tools in here. For all of you who are very specific about the appearance of your gathering tools, these are not attached to your fashion templates. It was just that, like, I'm going to be real here. Gathering tools were... So you know how they're like in equipment? Similarly in the wardrobe, they were also in the wardrobe, but when we ported over the wardrobe, we were like, oh, what do we do with gathering tools? And so we made them their own section, just so that you could change the appearance on them too, without them getting kind of mixed up in all the templatization stuff and all of that. So you can now change them over here if you are a person who cares a lot about how your tools look, but don't necessarily need to change the functionality of your tools. So if, for example, if you have unlimited tools and have specific glyphs that you always use, but sometimes want to change up how they look, you can already do this in the live game. It's just a little bit buried. Now it's just very clearly in this tab. And also this used to cost transmutation charges for some reason. We think it was kind of just like an old legacy thing. So we removed that. Changing these is free now. So you can just change the appearance of your gathering tools to whatever you want, whenever you want. It's just a nice little
Also,
thing that's in here.
a random tip from Muck to the newbies out there. Gathering tools do not all have the same gather speed for some reason. Please don't change this. So, for example, the Consortium Scythe and the Fused Molten Sickle, those gather twice as fast as the other harvesting thing. So just changing the appearance of the tools is actually a little bit more than fashion. There's a teeny tiny bit of min-maxing that you could do there, if you fancy it.
So really, this is actually a min-maxing feature. I didn't realize that. Thank you.
Let's see. Looking at everything here. Okay. I think we have... I think I know the answer to this, but I'll shoot my shot here. Someone wants to know, can we add different haircuts to different fashion templates?
No, you cannot. God, I wish we had that functionality. But no, unfortunately, changing your hair is still a thing that is, and anything about your character is still exclusive to doing makeover kits and appearance changes or hairstyle kits. And then also, you know, the couple of hats that have unique hairstyles to them.
Someone wants... Okay, so I know that you and I could send each other a template that has a skin in it the other person does not have. Mm-hmm. Can you also... And so, like, I could send you one, and you might be like, oh, I'm going to save this for the future when I get those gloves, and you could save it in Notepad or something.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have those gloves. Could you create a template that includes skins in it that you don't have? Or do you have to have them to create the template?
You have to have them to create the template. You do need to be able to put them in the template in the first place, and the template needs to be saved before you can export it. And it's kind of just like a data side thing of it existing for yourself. And it's also that you can't really get around it by importing someone's template, the stuff you don't have, because it just won't even populate if you don't have it. If you try and import that template, it'll just skip it rather than, you know, putting it in with an exclamation point. All of the errors here are just because of weapon types, not because of skin. So unfortunately, you are not able to kind of like make a future-facing fashion template, if you will, to say like, okay, this is what I'll look like when I have this thing. You'll still be restricted to kind of individually previewing those items on the item itself or from, you know, some of the wardrobe features that already exist via the bank.
Okay. All right. Looking over the Roy notes here, I think we have covered all of the primary bullet points. I believe we had a little bit of a teaser related to crabs planned at the end of this. Did we have anything else we needed to cover before we did that?
Did we have a teaser related to crabs? Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's what the notes say.
You're absolutely right, and I don't have it ready because I need to remember the name of the crab thing.
You know what? Let me see. Hang on. Replacement. Wait, what's going on? Hold on. Unequip that.
You might have to show this off on your character because I don't think I have it.
Oh no, dude! I can see it. I can see it in the Legendary Armory, but it says could not add item to Legendary Armory.
No, we can't.
You got. Wait, hold on a sec. Let me try this. Why? You gave me a faulty account. Yeah, it's called Endless Summer. The item is Endless Summer.
Yeah, because I don't have legendaries on this account, so I also don't have that.
Oh my gosh, peasants!
I know.
Peasants, all of us.
Oh, we're peasants. We can't show off the new. Well, we promise. I think they might have. Did they show it off last
Wait,
week?
hold on. I think I fixed it. Tech support.
Tech support?
All right,
Tech
let me see if
support?
this works. Those are not crabs.
We've got fish.
Those are not crabs.
We do not have the crabs. Quick tech support, we need more crabs.
I've accidentally revealed a future legendary that's not out yet. I have no idea what I've done. I'm sorry.
Nobody look at the lack of crabs. Everyone turn around. I also don't know what that was either. So we're just gonna ignore it. Don't worry about it. Nobody worry about it. And I'm so sorry if we just showed something that should have been shown.
Isn't that the ring? Endless Summer?
It should be.
That's it. That's what I equipped. I equipped Endless Summer.
Well, many of you will
All right,
see
Muck
the ring
finding more bugs,
on
2026. There we go.
This is really just a bug hunting stream, actually, so you can...
God. A strength I don't want. Endless Summer is the ring. That's what I got equipped. I don't know what happened. Holster it? I can't! It doesn't have my key bindings. There's no holster button. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, I think it's because you're in
gosh.
combat. In quotations, in combat.
Yeah, I am trying to...
There we
Okay,
go.
there, just sheathed automatically.
There we
Does
go,
that do it?
there we go.
There's
That's
the
what it
freaking... Oh my
is.
god,
That's-
okay.
there we
All right,
go.
well there's your teaser. Now you know what happens when you pull your sword out. There's your teaser.
There's the difference. All right, well, we have
Oh
the
my
crabs
goodness.
up. I do want to give a quick shout out here because I really do want to emphasize this. Fashion templates, still a feature that we are working on. We have the additions coming up later on this year, and we're also like really committed to continuing to making this as, you know, great of a feature as it can be. We're not just going to release this like this and then never touch it again. We really want to make sure that we take feedback from all of you and make it work the ways that you all, you know, need it to work to do all the things that you want to do. But I do want to shout out the people who made it, because I think, you know, our development team works on so many things, but this by itself kind of took a little bit of a strike team. So the primary engineer slash kind of design a little bit who worked on this was Amy Giannetti, or Amy G, who also actually made build and equipment templates and the legendary armory. So I really wanted to just like give her my kudos publicly on stream for doing so much of this work and making this entire thing happen. We have double the crabs now. Also to the rest of the team, which is Sam Clark Wilson, Angela Lee, Tim Jenkins, and Adrian, our producer. Really happy that the team was able to get this out for this update, and really hope that all of you have a lot of fun messing around with your fashion, making some, you know, looks. And our team is really invested in wanting to see all of your new looks. So actually next week, starting on Tuesday and then ending on the 10th, so from the 3rd to the 10th, you can enter your character in for a Fashion Week contest that our team is running on the forums. You can go and check that out. I think somebody in chat might be able to put a link to a little bit more information there. I know it was mentioned in the blog post. But you could have a chance to win any legendary weapon, except for one, which is, oh my gosh, the one that's 2 legendaries. Most of the legendaries, whichever one you want. If you win that contest for the team. So get your fashion ready, you know, get your looks ready. I'm really excited to see them all. And Mukluk, got anything else you want to say other than that you've doubled your crab quota?
There is one final question if we have time for one more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone said if you are you know, just working with nothing. So if you would be willing to open your hero panel and go to a wardrobe and go to a empty fashion template, or if you could clear out a fashion template for this question.
Yeah.
And so you are basically someone who has got no fashion template at all. Can you show them copying your... Oh, hold on. Clear it again. You did it too fast. Clear it again. So if you could show them copying your current equipment to the fashion template.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, because I cleared
You
the
were on
fashion
autopilot
template.
and you did it really fast.
Yeah, sorry. You can tell I've been messing with this for a while because I went so fast. So to clear the template, which I can actually just do on a different template here. So goodbye, Mukluk but pink. I will go and clear this fashion template. I right-clicked on it to get this context menu, and I cleared the fashion template. So that'll get rid of it. This costs 0 transmutation charges, but you do still need to save it. So just in case you accidentally clear it and you're like, no, you could reset it and get it back. So I hit save, and now it's just showing, you know, what I currently have equipped. And this is actually what I want to put into the fashion template, let's say, because let's say it was, you know, a combination of a couple things, or it was from an equipment template. I can now right-click this to get the context menu back and hit Get Equipped Fashion. And that will now take everything I'm wearing and populate it completely into this template so that I can save all of it. Now, also, you'll notice that these have like X's on them for undoing transmutation the same way that we currently do in the live game. So, for example, if I was like, oh, I actually want all this fashion, but I do not want the paper bag. Why am I still wearing this paper bag? I can exclude that from the import. It's still going to show it because my character is still wearing it right now. And like this is still kind of showing what I'm currently wearing a little bit. But I can remove that so it'll cost me fewer transmutation charges. So let's just say like, okay, I don't need that. And, you know, I actually don't need the cape. I just want everything else. I can save that. And now I have this as a fashion template. And I'm going to actually turn off visibility on the head and the cape. It did a weird thing and showed my outfit, but don't worry about it. Sometimes it likes to default to the outfit because it's at the top. And apply it to my equipment. And now I have that new version of this that did not have the cape or the headpiece, and that's been applied. So I know I just did like a couple of funky things along with the question, but the short answer is right-click context menu, clear fashion template will wipe it completely out, and get equipped fashion will take whatever you're wearing and scoop it directly into the fashion template.
There we go. All right. I was at least 3 people were spamming that question in chat, so I figured it'd be good to hit that on the way.
Yeah, sorry I went so fast. Again, I am, thank you for making me do it again, but slower. All
right. Well, Steph, thanks for joining me today. Muck said as he pretended to be the host of this show.
You are the
Thank
host.
you for having me as well. And co-host. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for doing this. Hopefully we have alleviated fears and panic and put out the fires. And if anybody still has more questions, you can put those on the forum. We will try to get to them. And this feature should be coming out on Tuesday, which you guys are also launching Twitch drops at that time.
Yes. Yeah, so tune in for the Twitch drops to everybody who will be, all the wonderful partners and folks who will be streaming when that update comes out. And really excited for y'all to get in here and mess around with this. And thank you so much, Muckluck, for joining me, for hosting this entire stream, and for, you know, just helping out and copying over some templates. You're the best.
It was fun.